Welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Abby. Ashley, what did you do this weekend? Oh, I taught you.
What
I
did
did
I do
first.
this week? You did. Let's see, what did I do this weekend? Well, I got to spend some time with my hubby because he is leaving me for a boat.
Who is she? What's her name?
I know. Roosevelt.
The USS. What?
The Theodore Roosevelt.
That slut. I'm just kidding.
I know. Well, he probably was. No, just kidding. I actually love Theodore Roosevelt, and I've told my husband many times because they have. Did you know that they have like merch per ship? Did you know this?
Amazing.
Yeah. So each ship has their own, like, they have a store and they have like their own like logo and everything. It's amazing. And I'm like, of all the ships that you've been on, Theodore Roosevelt, I freaking love Theodore Roosevelt. He has just like the coolest story to me. I'm like, that is the one ship sweatshirt that I want. Please get it for me. I've been asking for like 3 years. I want it really bad.
So is he going like for a while?
So my husband works for the shipyard, for people that are wondering. He's not in the Navy, but he is helping with the sea trials. So basically, to put it plainly, they take the boat out for a test drive just to make sure everything's working okay. So he is taking it on the test drive. But what's cool is that he gets to go usually they like kind of just take it around the block and then bring it back. They're actually going down to San Diego this time. So he's going on like a long trip.
Wow.
So he's thinking like 10 days, but because the shipyard is the shipyard, in my head, I'm like, okay, it's a month. Like, I'm just going to say it's a month. And if it's 10 days, awesome. But he's going to be gone a month.
Yeah,
That's
I can see that.
Myself.
I can see that. We were overtaken by mermaids. I'm sorry. We've got another 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's actually how it would work. Last time he went on sea trials, are you ready for this grossness? He was on a submarine, and the septic.
That's hardcore. I don't think I could ever be on a submarine. That scares me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he was literally sleeping in like the torpedo tubes because they didn't have any room.
No, thank you.
Okay, not in a torpedo tube, but like very, very
They just shoot him out. Oh, dang it. Sorry.
Wrong button. But the like septic flooded and like seeped into his room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was flooding septic fluid. He smelled so bad when he got home. So bad.
Ew. And he couldn't like shower or anything?
Yeah, but like it's just in the air at that point. Like it just permeates everything. His clothes. Yeah. I don't think they have laundry facilities on. I mean, they might, but not for like the shipyard workers.
How long was he on there for?
That one was like 5 days, so not too bad. That one was one just like going around the block, but yeah, like what fun adventures is going to happen to you this time?
Mermaids. I told you already.
Okay, mermaids. All right, it's gonna happen. What's going on with you?
It's been a rough. Speaking of husbands, mine got COVID, and so I've been basically single momming it for the last week. I know. I've been basically
still out there.
I know. It's not gone.
And that was the second time getting COVID, right?
Week. Yes. Yes.
The worst. Rude.
And then he went to Washington to go work. So he got sick for a week. So he was like basically quarantined. Couldn't do anything to help out. And then he left. Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
okay, bye.
Okay. So yeah, I was like, cool. So we're crushing this, Ashley. We can do it.
Oh yeah,
we can do it.
Mm-hmm. It's really cute. My nephew Peyton, he kind of helps out every once in a while, like just kind of keeping Lizzie occupied, and while I like, clean a bathroom or something like that, or we just hang out and watch Disney movies because he is a Disney fanatic, possibly more than I am. Possibly. I mean, it's close, but
you just taught him all he knows.
I did. So he's talking to Nate. He's like, "It's okay, Nate. I'll take care of the girls for you." I'm like, I love you so much,
cutie.
Yeah,
that's so cute. So we're just strong, independent women.
We could do this.
We got this.
We don't need no men. They just make the house messier anyway, right? Right?
Right. Anyway.
Okay. So
let's talk about something happy.
This might be my first correction that I'm posting out there. I have been pronouncing the hill that Meme took Turin and his wolfmen to live in as Amun-Rud, because it is literally spelled like AHMONRUDH, Amun-Rud. But because this is Tolkien,
isn't it in like wait, hold on. Isn't it in like Irish words that DH is a different pronunciation than
yes.
Yes. I mean, who says DH? Nobody.
Right. It's actually supposed to be pronounced TH. So it's not Amun-Rud, it's Amun-Ruth. But it honestly sounds like I have a lisp. So I'm just going to forever say Amun-Rud because, and just know that
you should just say the H at the end. Amun-Rud.
Rude.
Amun-Rud.
But like, could you tell that whole story with Amun-Ruth? I'm going to go up with Amun-Ruth, guys.
I gotta go on the roof.
So I just want to put that out there in case there were people that were like yelling at me in their cars. But there's certain things that like, I'm sorry, Tolkien, I'm going to say it this way for my own sanity.
It's like how we pronounced the hill Tuna. It wasn't tuna. It was It was something. How did we say it? Like Tunna or Tuna,
I think.
Tuna.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I'm sorry, Tolkien. Please forgive me, but for my own sanity, I have to say, I know. He's shaking his head at me. I'm sorry. So, anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. You ready for a recap? How much do you remember of last week? Other than crying for an hour afterwards.
I know. I will recap.
Go.
So, Turin had been kidnapped, right? Mm-hmm. Like the orcs had kidnapped him. They didn't kill him instantly because the meme was like, nah, he's actually cool. You don't have to kill him right now, but you can just take him. And so he's taken to the scary lands, right? To be tortured.
Well, they're on their way to taking him back to Angband. They're going to bring him back to Morgoth.
So the orcs have him that way. Like they're taking him, they're like traveling with him. And Beleg is like, well, do I go after him or what? Because I'm all by myself because everyone else died. And he's like, I'm going to go. Friendship forever. And then he starts following the orcs to recapture or take back Turin. And he goes into those spooky woods.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds Gwindor, who's been by himself in the forest, which we both agree.
We have our own side story.
Yeah. He's gone crazy, but then Beleg's like that old trope in movies where he's like, well, if only I had someone who could do this or someone who had this kind of talent, But I guess I don't, or I guess there isn't anybody out there who has that who can help me. And Gwindor's like, "What? I can help you." And he totally like changes his mind of just leaving Turin to be tortured, I guess. And he's like, "Okay, I'll help out." So they go and they catch up to the orcs, and they see Turin is like really bad, like really badly beat up and kind of out of it.
He's like
And
tied to
then
a tree and unconscious.
yeah,
Unconscious.
he's like kind
I
of
do
like
not like that word.
yeah. And then the orcs are all drunk and partying like frat boys.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Bellig tries to go over to free him.
Turin. Yeah.
And Turin.
Well, he does tour. He does free him, and then they take him away, like a bit away. But he's really heavy, apparently, so they can't take him too far. And that's when it
Yeah.
happened.
And then Turin kind of wakes up in like a frantic, "Who are you?" And he's scared and, of course, traumatized. And so he just attacks the person who's touching him because he's probably used to, or he's thinks that it's someone to hurt him, like an orc. And he murders Bellig on accident. But I mean, the intent was there to murder whoever was touching him, but he didn't know it
Right.
was Bellig. And I was so shocked when he told me that because I was like, oh, they're going to have an
Mm-hmm.
epic side by side battle and help out like in the rest of the book. But no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Mm-mm.
gosh. So then Turin is like shocked, upset, doesn't even want to move. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care there's anybody around him. He's just sitting there like frozen like a statue. And Glim Gwindor is just like, "Hey buddy, we can't go. We can't just stay here. Okay,
There's like
buddy."
orcs nearby.
Yeah.
Please
"Hey
don't hurt me.
buddy."
But
Yeah.
Tina says that
Yeah.
time to go.
Tell him, Tina. He like pushes Tina forward and he's like hiding behind her. And that's pretty much where you left off. Am I missing one last piece at the end?
Yeah. So then he manages to like get Torin to at least, help bury Beleg. They kind of he's still kind of
In
in a daze,
another
but at least
unmarked
he's
grave.
on another unmarked grave, which our favorite elves have gone to. R.I.P.
I
Finrod
know.
and now Beleg. And then they just start walking. And Torin isn't saying a word. Gwindor is just kind of guiding him and making sure he doesn't like fall off a cliff in his daze. And eventually they come across a special body of water called Ithil Ivrin. And apparently this water was really special because Ulmo had protected it and had made it like back when the world first began. And it's really pretty and it's also like filled with laughter somehow. And after Turin takes one drink of it, he just breaks down crying and somehow he is healed of his madness. And then Turin sings a song for Beleg, and Gwindor, who had been carrying Beleg's creepy sword along the journey, gives it back to Turin. And then Gwindor decides, you know what, we're going to go back to my hometown of Nargothrond, and you're coming with me. And then as they come upon the borders of Nargothrond, they're kind of, I say caught and taken by the border guards just because it's not like gruff. They're not like, but like, you're trespassing into our land. Who are you? So we're going to take you back to the boss guy and figure out who you are. And
Escorted
so
in.
yes. And so that's how Turin and Gwindor come to Nargothrond.
Okay. And they set him up with a therapist.
You would think so, but not quite. And then just one other quick recap of who Gwindor is, because he's going to be in the story a lot today. So we know Gwindor from the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. He was an elf originally from Nargothrond, that had joined in the battle because he wanted to avenge his brother, who had journeyed with Finrod to help Beren get the Silmarils. And he had died. He thought he had died. And then during the Battle of the Unnumbered Tears, it's like, oh, he's alive, but wait, we're going to mutilate his body and decapitate him right in front of you. And that leads him to go into a rage. And with his rash courage, he got actually all the way to the very doors of Angband, and then unfortunately was taken prisoner there and then sent to forge and mine for Morgoth until he was able to escape through a mining tunnel until he got lost in the creepy forest under Nightshade, met Tina, so forth and so on.
When she was alive.
Probably. He couldn't face another death. She was always alive in his brain.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a review of Gwindor. Now, I do want to do a quick review of Nargothrond as well, just for simplicity's sake. So we kind of have been in this area for a while of West Beleriand. We have to remember this kind of triangle that we have. So we have like Doriath at like 3 o'clock, let's say. Nargothrond's at 6 o'clock. The guarded plain and like Amon Rud was in like the middle of the clock. Like the Forest of Brethel would be like 12. So we've kind of been in this triangle area for a while. Okay. And Nargothrond was founded by one of our favorite elves, R.I.P., Finrod Felagund, a.k.a. Captain Beleriand. Still waiting on that artwork, by the way, guys. Come on. And when he was visiting his grunkle, King Thingol, he saw his kingdom of Menegroth and how it was kind of hidden and, made out from this cave. And Finrod's like, that is a really cool way to do it. That's what I want. And so Thingol showed him this cave in Nargothrond. And so it was a cave fortress with a very hidden entrance that was very narrow. So it is very cut off from the world. And it is so well hidden that it's actually one of the 3 cities that Morgoth hasn't found yet. Menegroth, King Thingol's territory, they had their Maiar Melian use her powers to create an enchanted barrier, aka girdle, to keep it hidden. Gondolin was literally hidden by an encircling mountain range, and only with the help of Ulmo did Turgon even find it in the first place. And then we have Nargothrond, and that's the only 3 places to remain hidden.
Untouched by Morgoth.
Untouched, yes. And then after Finrod's tragic and heroic death defending Beren in the quest for the Silmaril, his brother Orodreth took over as king of Nargothrond. So that's what we know about Nargothrond.
Okay.
So we're going to start where we left off. Turin and Gwindor have been escorted in to Nargothrond by the border guard. And at first, no one in Nargothrond knows who Gwindor is. It's been a long time since he had left for the Battle of Unnumbered Tears. He was a prisoner for a while. And the elf before them certainly doesn't look like Gwindor. And I can't imagine how awkward and humiliating that must have been for him. Just to come back after all these years, all the trauma he's faced, and no one recognizes him. Like, come on, it's me. Guys,
he's been living in a forest, a creepy old forest, for how long? He's probably wasn't keeping up with his laundry and hygiene.
No, his facial routine was just off the charts. He was trying to use mud as a substitute. Doesn't quite have the same kick.
Do elves not grow beards?
As far as I know, no. I can't think of any old elves. We actually were watching The Hobbit last night because that's what I do around my birthday is I make my family have a Lord of the Rings marathon. And I was trying to explain to Lizzie, as one should, I was trying to explain to Lizzie how Galadriel is older than Gandalf and she's older than Elrond. She's even older than the moon, guys. And she's like, what? But it's true. You can't really see age in elves, but I feel like the trauma that Maedhros also went through and that Gwindor went through, it ages them in other ways. Like, it might not wrinkle, but I feel like the stress of it may have even like given them some gray hair. I mean, I don't know. But
maybe
in a lot of the artwork, it shows him like almost aging like a man.
He's like, is that a wrinkle? Ah!
So, I mean, understandably, they don't recognize him, but how sad that, like, come on, Billy, I helped move your house, or
I know, I helped you move,
I used to babysit for you.
Yeah. Remember
but luckily,
the castle recipe? That was for me.
But luckily, there was one person who did recognize him, and that is King Orodret's daughter. So we have a new character, a new girl character, and her name is Findulas.
Findulas?
Yes. And it's not exactly clear what her name translates to, but it might have something to do with her flowing hair. So just kind of paint that picture for you. Okay. And before Gwindor had left for the Battle of Unnumbered Tears, it seemed like there was maybe a bit of romance between the two of them. It's not exactly said, but...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some sparks of flying.
Some sparks of flying. And he had even given her a nickname.
Aw.
It's Fail Ivren, yes, which roughly translates to gleam of the sun on the pools of Ivren. Remember Ivren being that pretty magical lake that cured Turin of his madness? Like, he's a poet at heart, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I need to tell my husband to get more creative. Come on, man.
I know.
More beautiful nicknames for me, please.
Sweetie, hun. What is he?
I know.
This is nothing compared to gleam of the sun on the pools of Ivren.
Yes.
So now someone recognizes Gwindor at least. But when it comes to Turin, you know, the elves of Nargothrond are happy to welcome him because he's, you know, seems to be Gwindor's friend. But just as Gwindor is about to introduce him, Turin stops him. It's like, wait, let me introduce myself because I'm about to drop another name change.
Yeah. I am Turin no longer. It is I. And then he rips off his shirt and it's already tattooed on his body.
Well, he's going to have a lot of tattoos because, gosh.
They're
even on this page
out,
alone.
Like a line.
Yeah. On the one page alone of this chapter, he goes through he gets 3 names on this one page.
Oh.
So here's the first one. Are you ready?
Okay.
Agarwine. And that means...
Agarwine?
Uh-huh. That's like the Elvish word for it. And then it translates to blood-stained.
Oh, gosh. If that didn't help his morale...
Uh-huh. And I just had a... Maybe that should be my name during that time of the month. All right. So it sounds a lot more BA than Aunt Flo.
Yeah.
I am a Garwine.
Garwine.
A Garwine. So he says, yeah, my name is Agarwine, son of Umarth. And Umarth means ill fate. So, hi, my name is Bloodstained, son of ill fate. Like, is it okay if I make myself a new home here?
This guy is so emo.
I know.
He's like, and now he needs to like just carry a guitar around and he's just writing like really sad songs.
Mm-hmm. Not a perfect person.
Yeah. Yes.
We need to come up with a Turin playlist. All right, so
yeah.
You know, one response, you know, after someone introduces himself like that, you know, might be, why Bloodstained? That can't be your real name. And who is your real father?
He introduces himself and like goes to shake someone's hand and they're like, you seem fun. You seem happy. You seem like a good hangout. You seemed like a party.
And I might be like, what's wrong with you? Why is your knee that? Why are you like this? What made you like this? But no, they're going to take an approach more like, whoa, you got some trauma. We're just going to, brush that under the rug, pretend you didn't say that, because after Turin gives them this name, they don't even ask him any questions about it. They're like, moving on.
Yeah. But is he that kind of emo kid? And he's like, no, wait, you have to ask me. I need the attention. You know what I mean? When,
he's more like, I'm going to suffer in silence. He is the suffer in silence type.
And then he does the hair flip, like the hair.
Oh, he's going to do the hair flip for sure. But we're actually going to hear a little bit more about his appearance, because so after he introduces himself, Turin actually grows to be one of King Orodreth's favorites, and he's actually really well liked among the elves of Nargothrond. Quote, for he was young and only now reached his full manhood, and he was in truth the son of Morwen to look upon, dark-haired, pale-skinned, with gray eyes, and his face more beautiful than any other among mortal men. His speech and bearing were that of the ancient kingdom of Doriath, and even among the elves he might be taken for one from the great houses of the Noldor. Therefore, many called him, new name change, a Danethel, or the Elf Man.
Oh, so he was that pretty?
Uh-huh. He's pretty.
Okay, who do you think he looks like?
I don't know, because I feel like there's still dark to him. Dark hair, pale, gray eyes. I don't know.
Ooh.
Give me a movie.
Aidan Turner.
Ooh.
Aidan Turner.
Keeley. Yeah.
Yes,
I can see
from The Hobbit.
Mm-hmm. 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 It's hard to see him unshort, though.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, because he has to have that gruffness about him, too. Like, it can't be a pretty boy. Like, he can be pretty, but not a pretty boy, if that makes any sense. Like, obviously, he's not pale, but, like, obviously, Taylor Lautner, like, as the, like, hair and, like, the kind of emo-ness, but the paleness isn't right.
I can see that. Ooh, there's a famous Broadway actor who's very handsome.
Neil Patrick Harris. No, wrong vibe.
Yes.
Ooh, what if it was like a young... Oh gosh. Wolverine. What if he was like a young version of that guy? No, I got it. Yes, a young Hugh Jackman, or no, I've got it. Are you ready for this? I have to think of his name.
But I'm going to also say mine because I love him.
Okay.
Anyway, yes.
I can't think of his real name, but Bucky Barnes.
Sebastian Stan?
Yes.
That's his name.
Yes, thank you.
Sebastian Stan. Okay. Okay, his name is Ramin Karimlu. Oh, yeah.
No idea how do you spell that? Ramin
Ramin Karimloo.
There he is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's the hair. I needed that hair, but that's the perfect Turin hair. Yeah, I like it.
He's an elf man, for sure.
Okay. Have we painted the vibe? Have we painted the picture?
Yes, I'm picking Ramin Karimlu.
Okay. And I have like a mix of all these men that I'm talking about. Okay. Because now we're going to have to figure out who his mom is too. Because if you remember, this is a great link back to his mom. Because she was known as Morwen Elfsheen, or Elf Maiden, because of the elf-like gleam in her eyes.
Okay.
Like, I love that tie-in. Like, he looks just like his mom, and they both look like elves. What is in their family tree that they look so much like elves? Okay, so now who is his mom? It can't be Arwen.
Drop
it can't be Liv
Tyler. Skincare routine.
I know.
Could his mom be?
Has to be dark. Oh, it's the girl. I know who it is. She's in that show that... Did I ever show you Legend of the Seeker?
No.
It's like super, super fantasy, and I love it. It's so cheesy fantasy, but I'm here for it. Now I have to send it to you. She's in that, and she is beautiful and pale and dark. She's called a confessor, and that they're like bad A women. Her name's Bridget Regan, but you have to find her in Legend of the Seeker.
Okay.
The show is a bit Xena, warrior princess, but she's so pretty.
All right. Okay. Or the lady from Outlander, the main lady.
Oh, I like her too. But, I guess she's pretty fierce too. Okay, so either one of those. Katrina something. I forgot her last name.
Katrina. Sorry.
So that's the mom. Okay. I'm glad we sorted this casting out. You're welcome, Amazon.
I'm a visual learner. I have to see.
Oh, no, we both are.
See.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I would die to see Ramin Karimloo in, like, a TV show to watch. Oh, thank you, please.
So I love that they're both known as, like, elf maiden, elf man, just like his mommy. But also, why do all the traumatized guys gotta be the hottest? Like,
I can fix him.
I can't fix him. Like, oh, honey, you're so damaged, but I want it.
I can fix him, okay? Daddy, I love him.
Daddy, I love him. So Turin is actually making lots of new friends in Nargothrond, and he even gets someone to reforge his creepy sword Anglekel for him.
They really didn't want to do it, but
like, if this will keep you from killing yourself. They literally thought he was going to kill himself with it. I bet you anything. It's like, it's not this dull. The blade got a little dull from some blood.
Here,
it just got dull. Yeah. Why is the cork on the fork?
Or like all his swords are like the foam plate, like the ones they give kids.
They should. But they reforged this creepy sword for him. Quote, and though ever black its edges shone with pale fire, he named it Iron of Death, Girthing. So the sword gets a name change too.
He's all about it.
You get a new name, and you get a new name, and you get a new name. So this is another time, and we're going on name change number 3 for this page alone, because, quote, so great was his prowess and skill in warfare on the guarded plain that he became known as Mormogul, the Black Sword. And the elf said, the Mormogul cannot be slain, save by mischance, or an evil arrow from afar.
The sword cannot be slain?
Turin. So the sword got a name change, and now Turin's getting another name change. Because with his new sword, he is kicking butt, and they're like, ooh, that black sword, that Turin, new name change. He is now Mormogul. And he is basically invincible. Like, the only way he can be killed is if, it happened by accident, or maybe an arrow from afar. Like, random specifications. I feel like you're asking for something there.
What was I going to say? I'm learning. I'm following. I like to thank my medical terminology class for me to pick out these things, but that more means like black or like darkness.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's why it's in different words, that like Morgoth and Mordor.
Yep.
Stuff like I'm learning.
Tolkien would be so proud. So he goes from, in this section alone, bloodstained son of ill fate, to Adanathel, or Elfman, and now he is Mormogul, the Black Sword.
Crazy. So he's like,
man, imagine having to like change that information on like your social security card, having to go in every time. Like, it was rough changing your name after you get married. Imagine this time.
I know.
He has to change all the labels on his clothes.
He can't find any of them on keychains, so he's a little bummed about that.
They never have my name. They're always out of my name, and they never have yours spelled right.
I know, and I doomed all my kids, so they never have. I mean, Luna's coming up there, but I saw something
yeah.
with Luna's name on it, but my other kids, no way. Nope.
Yeah. That's just the life you gave them, Abby. If you can't have a keychain, no one can get a keychain.
I know. Yeah.
So, as Turin is fighting with the elves of Nargothrond, he goes ahead and helps himself to their armory. And there he gets dwarf mail to guard him. I don't know why they have to specify dwarf mail. Like, I just don't think, do elves not use mail? I don't get it.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
he needs a different.
I don't think like chain mail.
Yeah. And then I don't know why he's just vibing with the orc mood so much, because then, quote, in a grim mood, so he's like going shopping while he's upset. He found also
hot topic.
He found also a dwarf mask, all gilded, and he put it on before battle, and his enemies fled before his face. So those dwarf masks that I was always making. Okay, so I thought of that, and I went on a Google rabbit hole. It's gone.
What?
Helmet be gone. It was.
Did he bury it with his friend?
No, apparently, and it could be different in all the different books out there. Don't come at me, guys. But it's never mentioned again in this book. And as far as we know, it's still in the cave of Amun Ruth. Rude.
Weird. Why mention it so much and make it so cool and then like leave it in a cave?
Okay, so I'm going to take a side quest here because I had the same question, but I found this really funny conversation thread that I'm going to post later. And one guy's like, okay, Tolkien, it wouldn't have been that difficult to sit down for a minute and decide what you wanted to have happen to that helmet.
Yeah. Just think about it for a second.
And then this other guy comments, for this reason, I ran a Middle-earth role-playing campaign that involved around a brandybuck farmer digging up the dragon helm of Dorloman and the adventure that followed. To the end, he insisted he'd rather have dug up a truffle.
Amazing.
Like, I love that side quest.
But also like,
but yeah,
he built it up for nothing. He keeps doing that.
I know. As far as I know, it's gone. It's good. Hidden in that cave, never to be found again.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Yes. So for now, he's using the creepy dwarf mask that looks like the mask from Persian people in 300. That just looks ridiculous to me, but it's supposed to scare people. Mm-hmm. But why does the detail of Turin literally going, I mean, theoretically, like shopping in this armory, and he's in a bad mood because he's Turin, and he picks up a scary dwarf mask just to scare his enemies. Why does that fit him so well? Like, this is how I feel inside.
Nobody knows me.
So,
I'm all alone.
Meanwhile, despite him being so emo, remember, he is still very pretty. A love triangle emerges because he actually caught the eye of Findulas.
Oh no, but that's that other guy's lady.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep. And she doesn't want to like Turin. She knows she loves Gwindor, but she can't seem to help herself.
I mean, he's pretty handsome.
He's pretty handsome. But
and he's like, I can change him. He's got a hurt heart.
Yes.
I can heal him.
Mm-hmm. Quote, then the heart of Findulas was turned from Gwindor, and against her will, her love was given to Turin.
Oh,
but
no.
Turin did not perceive what had befallen.
Oh my gosh. Typical man.
And, I don't think Turin was like mean or cruel to her or anything like that. Like, I feel like some people might perceive that as like, well, he's just stuck up and was like, ignoring her. I just don't think he understood. He was just kind of oblivious to it. Not intentionally, but just
very much did not understand her flirting style, probably.
Right.
Or he probably had no one in his life who actually has flirted with him before, so he doesn't know what it is.
And I was thinking about this too. So he's lived his whole life basically among soldiers. And also, I think that elves have because they lived for so long, their like romance is like very slow because they've got all the time in the world. But with, mortals, it's different. You got to put yourself out there and you got to be obvious because, time's a ticking. So if he had seen any romance, it might have been very different than, others. So he just does not have any reference to go off of. And he just doesn't notice it.
She's like, his friends are like, she was flirting with you. And he's like, she was? Like, oh, okay.
That's what flirting is?
Yeah.
And like her version is like, she walked past him and that was her flirting.
Yeah.
Because that's how elves flirt.
I gotta say,
how do elves flirt? I want a book. Yeah. But because Turin, isn't really noticing her walking by him, and she's torn between Turin and Gwindor in the first place, she just becomes kind of depressed and dejected. And Gwindor, who obviously is more observant than Turin, has just seen this whole thing play out. He sees what's going on. And, he thinks about it for a while, and he goes to her and tells her, quote, "Daughter of the house of Finarfin, let no grief lie between us. For though Morgoth had laid my life in ruin, you still I love. Go whither love leads you, yet beware. It is not fitting that the elder children of Iluvatar should wed with the younger, nor is it wise, for they are brief and soon pass, to leave us in widowhood while the world lasts. Neither will fate suffer it, unless it be once or twice only for some high cause of doom that we do not perceive. But this man is not barren. A doom indeed lies on him, as seeing eyes may well read in him, but a dark doom. Enter not into it, and if you will, your love shall betray you to bitterness and death. For hearken to me, though he be indeed blood-stained son of ill fate, his right name is Turin, son of Hurin, whom Morgoth holds in Angband, and whose kin he has cursed. Doubt not the power of Morgoth. Is it not written in me?" So I'm sorry, that was a very long quote, but I feel like this is a very important moment for Gwindor here. So he's basically saying that, elves aren't supposed to be with the mortals because it's not wise. The time frames don't match up very well. And, it's only worked once or twice. And this guy isn't barren. And he's going to be cursed because this is actually Turin, son of Hurin. And Hurin was literally cursed by Morgoth and all of his kin. And, I should know about Morgoth's power because look what he did to me.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But
he's such a nice guy. He's like, you can go do whatever you want. I'll support you. Poor guy.
So, yeah. So, obviously, he's probably just trying to save the love of his life from a cursed life with Turin. But if we want to be on the pessimistic side, which I know you're not, but is he just trying to talk her out of being with Turin so she can be with him?
He loves her too, so it's hard. It's hard.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard to say, he has some good points, a good pros and cons list.
Right.
But
either way, after Finduilas processes all that Gwindor has told her, she responds, quote, "Turin, son of Hurin, loves me not, nor will."
I guess you're my backup plan.
Yeah. Pretty much. Now, what happens next? I really wish there was more of an explanation because for some reason, the first thing Finduilas does after hearing this is she goes to Turin and tells him everything that Gwindor just told her.
What?
But
Why?
Why? And I would love to have known his response to her. Like, no, my name is now blah, blah, blah. I'm not Turin. Who's Turin? Like,
what? Who?
What? Who? Turin? No.
Never heard of him.
Don't
Never
know him.
heard of him.
But all we know is that he goes to Gwindor after, and he is pissed that Gwindor told her all of his secrets.
Oh my gosh, it's like a drama. It's like reality show drama.
I know. Quote, in love I hold for you, for rescue and safekeeping. But now you have done ill to me, friend, to betray my right name and call my doom upon me, from which I would lie hid. Like, how could you tell them my name when I have such a cooler nickname now? And how dare you even mention that doom curse thing is on me? Because, if we don't talk about it, it's like it never existed, and then it's not going to do it. It's not going to work. So, yeah.
I really want this to be like a reality show where then like they fight and then the camera pans to like, or the camera goes to like them interviewing like in a booth, like talking about their relationships.
Yeah.
Reality shows like that, like The Bachelor or something.
Like, we take you to the side and be like, so what do you really think of Gwindor? How do you feel that he's betrayed you? Well, I just feel like he could have talked to me before he like talked to Findulas, because I thought we were buddies, and like I know I had this like curse thing on me, but I just don't feel like he should have shared that information without talking to me first.
And on the bottom it says his name, but then it's like crossed out multiple times for all the different names that he has. Yet they just have to keep changing it.
And then it just has question marks. Like,
yeah.
Just
I don't know, man.
That one guy. Yeah. And so after this, basically, what the heck, man? Gwindor responds, quote, the doom lies in yourself, not in your name.
Ooh.
Like, you can keep changing your name all you want, buddy. The curse is on you. Turin's like, wait, that's how it works? Because I thought if I changed my name, then the curse wasn't on that name anymore. And so if I'm not that person, that's how curses work, right? Like, oh, you're looking for Turin, son of Hurin? No Turin here, curse. I'm Bloodstained, son of Illfate. Like, sorry, can't help ya.
Turin who? Who's that? Man, now I'm just playing it as a reality show in my head. Like The Bachelor. Or like Love Island or something in my head.
No,
and it's making me happy.
It's is it Big Brother when they're all in the house?
Yeah.
But now they're all in the kingdom of Nargothrond. Big Nargothrond. Big cave. So now that word is out, King Orodreth finds out that this is Turin, son of Hurin. He's actually like really excited, and he gives him even more honors and even, more popularity. And he's even like liked more by the people of Nargothrond. Like, you think he would have been like, ooh, that guy, but they're like, ooh, that guy. So, and it doesn't explain it in the book very well, but I can only foresee Turin's response to this in two ways. One way is that Turin takes King Orodreth's and all of the people of Nargothrond's acceptance to heart and just, like, thank you, I've been feeling really lost, and now I just feel like you guys are accepting me for who I really am, and that just feels so good. I think this is part of me healing. But this is Turin we're talking about. That's not how it happened. I'm thinking more like anytime that Turin is actually called by Turin and is like, I loved your father so much, like anything brought up about his actual existence, he kind of just takes that Merida approach where he just hides his face. Like,
yeah. You know what vibes he's kind of giving me? Like a little bit, not fully the same character, but like a little bit, is Mr. Darcy.
Yes.
Where he's like, doesn't want people to really know who he is, doesn't like flirting, doesn't understand flirting. He's done some stuff in his past, but like people misunderstood it and don't like rumors about it, And then like
I like it. I like it.
He's dark and brooding.
Yeah. Not 100%, but I like the dark and brooding the misunderstood. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But either way, we're not going to really know what Turin, says about his, reveal, because this is Turin and they kind of just gloss over how he feels, because we don't talk about our feelings. We just shove them deep down
and
so that
stab
they come
things
up later
with
in the form
swords.
of trauma. Yeah. But one of the things Turin does do with this recent kind of promotion is he starts advising King Orodreth on his battle tactics. And so remember how Morgoth was wanting to spread his armies south and just basically take over all of Beleriand? And then the helm and the bow were kind of stopping them in that guarded plain area. Well, with the helm and the bow not stopping them anymore, the orcs have started to come further south, which means they're coming towards Nargothrond. And, Turin, yeah. And Turin does have battle experience. I mean, he's a famed warrior at this point. He was on the Doriath border guard with Beleg fighting orcs. He and his wolfmen, I'm sure, got up to some stuff. And then his role with the helm and the bow, I'm sure he has a lot of experience and a lot of, things to teach. Mm-hmm. But what I find odd is, based on that experience, Turin actually doesn't like the way that the elves of Nargothrond fight, because they like to fight more with like stealth and setting up ambushes and, just very, quick and fast and, nothing in the open, just very guerrilla warfare. But Turin, he, quote, yearned for brave strokes and battle in the open.
He wants that epic battle.
That's not really the elf way. Yeah, he wants the epic battle, but that's not really the elf way. And
it the American way.
That was perfect. You would think that sneaky and stealth would be all that Beleg and Turin did together, but, maybe he's tired of that, or maybe he feels like he can't do it without Beleg. Beleg just understood. He knew when I was going to go left, he was going to go right. And I just feel like I can't do that without him. So I want to do it the American way and just have battle American out in the open.
Yes.
So regardless of why he feels this way, he uses his influence with King Orodreth to start using a less stealthy approach. And so that's what they start doing. They are fighting in more battles, and because they're fighting in more battles, they need more weapons. So they start making more weapons. But with all the weapons becoming from Nargothrond, it's hard to get them to the battlefield, because remember, only one way in, only one way out, very narrow path, and a hidden path. So it's taken a while to get the weapons out to the battlefield. And this is when Turin gets a brilliant idea. Why don't we build a bridge? This bridge will just go right over this big river, and, it will go right to the entrance doors to Nargothrond. The weapons can be transported from here to there much easier.
I thought you were going to say Eagle Amazon.
I wish. No, stork.com or whatever.
Eagle Prime. Next day delivery.
Eagle Prime. Yes. Someone please make that. So they do it. They build the bridge and it works. They're able to get all the weapons they need out there, and the orcs are just driven out from east to west. They're just gone. They just cleaned up that area. No orcs. Everyone is like, yay, Turin, he led us to the right way and we beat all these bad guys. We are doing this. Thanks, Turin. Great idea. Except there's one person that's not quite on Team Turin.
It's Gwindor.
Why can't you remember his name?
I don't know.
Because there's like a billion names to remember.
I think of Glinda. Oh. So I'm trying to... Gwindor.
So it's Gwindor, yeah. Gwindor.
I keep thinking Glinda, but it's Gwindor.
That is a very funny image in my brain, though. Anyways, quote, "And though Gwindor spoke ever against Turin in the council of the king, holding it an ill policy, he fell into dishonor, and none heeded him, for his strength was small, and he was no longer forward in arms."
Ugh.
So he's the only one being like, I don't like this way of doing things. I feel like we should stay with what we were doing. And everyone's like, shut up. You don't even fight anymore. And you're like weak and gross. And is that a wrinkle I see? Oh, yeah. You cannot be taken seriously.
Yeah. Gross.
But, gross. And, was Gwindor, I'm going to be the pessimist here. Was Gwindor in truth against Turin's ideas, or just against Turin for stealing the heart of his girl?
Definitely the latter.
Yeah. But even after all Gwindor went through, to be dishonored and ignored for just having an unpopular opinion, like, that's not cool. That's not cool, elves. Especially.
Come on, guys.
You're better than that. Especially because Gwindor was right. Quote, "At Turin's prayer, his true name was not spoken, and though the fame of his deeds came into Doriath and to the ears of Thingol, rumor spoke only of the black sword of Nargothrond."
Oh.
So, his name's being spread far, not his name, but the actions of this black sword of Nargothrond are being spread far and wide. But it also leads to, quote, "Thus Nargothrond was revealed to the wrath and hatred of Morgoth."
I knew it. As soon as they built that bridge, I was like,
got too popular.
That's over now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's actually where I'm going to leave you for the day.
Okay. Thanks for teaching me today.
You're welcome. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Sisters of the Shire Podcast. Make sure to rate and review on whatever platform you listen to your favorite podcasts on.
Yeah.
Of course, it's our podcast. And we actually got another new country.
Okay. I'm going to guess.
What's
Europe.
your guess? You win!
Hooray! Okay. I'm going to guess.
It's a really small country. And I feel like I'm going to say it with an accent, and it's going to offend. How did you know that? Did you see it?
No. You said a really small country, so I thought of Luxembourg. I'm smart. I know things.
There's lots of really small countries, though. Nicely done. So yeah, Luxembourg. And if you don't know, that's between Belgium and France. And I Googled pictures of it, and it looks so cute. Very
does it look very like
architecture?
Does it look very like fantasy medieval,
Yes.
Luxembourg?
Mm-hmm. And also the Czech Republic. Cute. Czech Republic is now at 1%. Czech Republic, where are you coming from?
Oh, my friend lives there.
Maybe it's them. Hi, friend.
And he is a very big Tolkien person. He's in his late 60s. And his wedding ring is Aragorn's ring. He's a huge Tolkien person.
Well, I hope it's him then. So now we have the country. Are you going to overthrow Canada or Slovenia or Belgium, Czech Republic?
Remember, this is the only time that we allow overthrowing of other countries. It's the only time we'll
do it, Czech Republic. And also, Germany
thank you
went down
all for
1%.
listening.
What's going on, Germany? I thought we loved you.
I thought you loved us, you mean?
I thought you loved us, yeah. I thought you liked us. But no, fine, whatever.
Well, thank you for listening wherever you are in the world.
Yes.
Rate and review really helps us. It's really fast, really easy. And until next week,
I've been Ashley.
And I've been Abby. And thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.